Yesterday, we were trying to talk about the Java source file declarations, and we know that there are kind of different two files in Java. One is Java source file, which is where you write your code, and the extension source file is nothing but the extension of .java file. And when compiler comes into the picture, and you compile this particular code that you have written, you then get the class file after compilation. And class files are not readable by human. Okay, class files are not human readable, so don't worry about that, because everything you're going to be doing, you're going to be doing it in your source file, which is nothing but Java files. And yesterday we were doing some practical analysis of it to tell you what are those rules in declaration of source file. The first and second rule, we're going to talk about it. We're going to do that when your previous sections come in, when I talk about the rule concept. Another one, we'll talk about packages in Java. And for those that are not here, we just give a high level of what Java package is all about. Okay, so we skip the first two declarations, source file declaration. I went to the third one, which you say there can be only one public class. Miss Evans, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. I don't know if you watched the last video because you're not here yesterday.
No, I was not here yesterday. They didn't send any video for yesterday.
He's there.
Oh, really?
Yes, it's on the platform. So that's what we're trying to do, which you know some idea of it. We try to, I mean, you have sometimes you have a little time to run the code on this code statement that they said there can be only one public class per source file, and the name of the source file can be same as public class. And then we did some practical aspect of it to illustrate this. When you want to run this, we went to create in any way you can do it in any way. Maybe you want to save it in download file, document, anywhere, or wherever you can create any folder. So I went to C drive. I created the folder in C drive. I call it Java batch one. Then in that Java batch one, we created a Java folder. We created a Java folder. And in that Java folder, we created the text file that we converted to Java file, and we created a different classes in that source folder. And as per the rule, there can be only one public class per source file, and the name of the source file should be same as of public class. And what we did was that we have different classes in this source file. And one of those classes, one is test class, the other is home class, the other is A and B class respectively. Okay, so but the test class is declared as public, and I told you what public is, what this public, and it is called access modifiers. Okay, we'll discuss about that in previous class. So we have different classes in different access modifiers in Java, the protected, the default, and thereabout. So we declare this one to be public. And by the rule is that in a source file, any text, any class that is declared as public, that one that is declared as public should be the name of that source file. So what we do is that you save it, you save as this. Since this one is declared as what? Public. So, and is the name of that class is text. So it will be test.java. Then we save it, and that makes it to be what the same name as that of the source folder. And we created different classes under it here. Okay, so but the one that is that public is name should be for that particular source folder. So that's what illustrates the core statement of Java declaration. And when we compile this particular code, the syntax to compile this particular code is just you type your CMD command on the address bar. We type your CMD command and you see that we on that particular folder. This folder I created, this folder that I just created, this Java underscore batch one is on my C drive. Okay. So there, the format to the command to compile a particular Java code. When you write your Java code on your source file, okay, which is readable by human, then you have to compile. The compiler comes into the picture. What compiler does is that compiler will check the syntax, as its by rule and the grammar of Java. That's one of those things. And the compiler will also convert it to bytecode. I mean, um, you convert it to bytecode from human readable form to convert it to bytecode. Okay. So the command to compile a particular source file is what? Can someone tell me if you remind? I told you. What is the command? I want to compile this code. I want to compile this Java, this class, this source folder. I want to compile it now. What is the command to compile a Java source file?
Java C.
Java
Then
C.
you put a space bar. Then you write it the file.
Yeah, the source file, the name of the source file, that an extension, right? So when you compile this, you see that if you don't have any error message on in between these two lines, that means your compilation was successful. And you can see that we have all the classes in that particular source folder. In that source folder, which is the Java file, which is a source file, we have public class test, we have test class, which is public. We have a class home, which is home class, which is default. We have A class, which is default. We have B class, which is default, respectively. So all those classes in that particular Java folder is being executed. We have all of them came out at A.class, B.class, home.class, and test.class. After compilation. And I also tell you that yesterday I told that why we have these different classes when we execute them. We have different classes for here because the class file are created for the classes we have inside the source file. Okay. The class files are created for the classes that we have inside this source file. All those classes are created inside the source file. If we have 100 classes inside the source file, when you execute them, when you compile them, you have those particular classes being executed, all right? You see them that's being, different classes being generated from that particular source folder. We get the class file for the classes that we have in the source file. We never get the class file for the source file, no. Okay, if we have two classes inside the source file, you will have two classes. If you have four classes inside this source file, you have you will get four classes after compilation. If you have 10,000 of them, you have 10 classes inside this source file. After compilation, we have those four different classes. And the name of the classes will be the same as the classes available inside this file, inside the source file. If you compile this and you have test class, you have you see, you have dot class, you have test dot class. If we have A class, you have A dot class. If you have B class, you have B dot class. So that's why we call them class file, because that file's created for that particular class. And I also told you yesterday that when we compile a particular source file, we have classes being generated from that. Because why? Your JVM, the responsibility to run your class is of JVM. So JVM does not understand English language. When JVM comes into the picture after compilation, when JVM will first ask for your class file as an input. JVM cannot read source file because JVM can read only bytecode. Because all these things now, if I go here and say edit it local, you can see that you can't even read these things. These are bytecode. This is what JVM can read. Okay? So JVM cannot read your JVM cannot read your English language. Can't read these things. So compiler will first compile it and convert to the bytecode. Then JVM comes into the picture. So JVM asks for class file. JVM cannot read JVM, because JVM can read only bytecode. This is how Java developers, I told you, have developed the Java. JVM can translate the bytecode into machine code, and JVM will provide you with the output. JVM cannot run Java file. It doesn't run this Java file. It's not the best way of JVM to run this. It cannot run this, so it has to be converted. Anyone has any question with respect to what we did yesterday?
No.
Class file declaration. And I gave you this. I said, okay, look at this. They said there can be only one public class per source file, and the name of the source file should be same as of public class. Now, when I go to this one, after compilation, I have this test class, I have this dot class, B class, and because all these are in the source folder. All these are in the source folder, right? Before compilation. That's why we have these classes coming out of that source file. And the rule said there can be only one public class. So now when I remove this public class and make it here public, I make class A to be public. Is it going to be a valid file or a invalid file after confirmation?
Which
Valid.
A is just the public, right?
Yeah, is all the public. In this
It
source
is
folder, I make
valid.
it to be public.
It's valid.
It's valid. Since it is
It's
just one
valid.
public. Yeah.
Okay, when I save this source file, let me save it again so we can see what is here. This is still giving me the same thing. Let me get through this. I exit this to be, then I'm making A to be public. I want to save this. Okay, let me see if I actually save it. Okay, it's saved. Now, per the rule, they said there can be only one public class per source file, and the name of the source file should be the same as of public class. Now I'm editing this stuff right here, and I'm making this to be what? I'm making the A to be what? To be public. Now, if I were to compile this, is right, with compilation happens, will it throw and compilation error?
Yes.
Yes, but I thought it's only one we're gonna have only one public class.
Okay,
So,
read your third statement. You see, there can be only one public class, a source file. And the name of the source file should be the same as of public class. Okay, you look at this one right here very well. Your source folder where you're writing your programming. Okay. A is public class. What is the name of this source file?
Test.
yes.
So if after compilation we throw an error,
Yes.
It is an error.
no, let's leave Mr. Evans to answer. Mr. Evans, are you going to throw an error or not?
It's not an error, yeah.
Why?
Because we already has another
Name.
Java.
Yes. So what is compiler telling you here? It say in line number 12, we are having an error. Class
Yeah.
A is public. Should be declared in the file name here. Should be A dot what dot Java. That's why the rule say there can be only one public class per source file, and the name of the source file should be the same. So this thing should be renamed as what? As A.Java.
Java.
That's what the third rule say. So now, moving forward, going to the third rule now, the fourth one, it said there can be multiple non-public class. So there's no constraint that your source folder should have public class. So no. The fourth rule is say that there can be no public class. That means all your public class should be what? Default. You can have default classes in your source file. So all this one is default. There is no public. Test class, home class, A class, B class is all default. So the fourth rule is saying that you can have multiple non-public class. That means more, you can have default classes in your source file. But the name, so now he said that for the files with non-public class, the name of the source file can be anything. So if I have all these ones to be default classes, the name can be anything. So if I run this again, if I save this and run this, I won't have any error. Okay, so now if I go right here and we name this name, and let me say before it was test.java, and I want test.java, I put any name there. So I put evans.java. Okay, so now if I run this, compile this particular source file, will I have an error or not? The question goes to Stachoma. Say, Evans, do I have an error or not? I've renamed this source file. I've renamed this source file to be evans.java. And in that source folder, all the classes here are all default. Okay, so you can put any name.
No.
So now, if I run this, will it go to true and compilation error? All these are all default classes. There's no problem about that. So they can have n number of classes which are default. It doesn't mean it must be public. So, and the fifth rule is saying that since it's public, since it's default, there is no public class in your source folder. The name of this source folder can be anything. So before it was test.java. Now I'm making it to be evans.java. So I want to compile it. Will it throw a compilation error?
No.
Say no. What of Abraham?
No,
No.
It's not going to go through a compilation error.
it's not going to true. They are defaults.
Yes, there are default classes. Since there are default classes,
The name can be anything.
the name can be anything. So before it was test.java, now make it to be evans.java. Okay. So I want to compile it now. Will it give me compilation error or it will still run the code?
It will still run the code.
If you run the code,
Okay. Let me be no, sorry, I'm putting this one. So let me show all default classes. Okay, they're all default classes. Okay. Let me go type cmd on the address bar and pull us to the bar tray this and say Java C test.java. What do you say? It say file not found. Test.java. You see, your configuration was not successful. Why? Because the compiler did not say any name called test.java because already we named it. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Already we named this thing. Already.
So what are you gonna use?
So now, since you have renamed it, then put the one you already renamed. Say
Yeah.
Java. They're going to find it. The compilation will happen. Okay. Let me remove this so that you will, because you already, anytime you compilation, you see override the one that is there before. So don't worry about that. Okay. So let me compile it again. I see that the test of Java is not found. There's no folder. Though you said
Unless,
if it's
unless
default
you change the name.
classes,
We thought you want to change the name to Evans.java.
you renamed it.
Yeah.
This is your folder. You rename it to be, because they are default classes. All the source folders there, they are default. All the class files, sorry, all the classes in the source folder, they're all default. There's no public. So the name can be anything. Before you name it to be test.java. Yeah, when you run test.java, it will find this. The compiler will find that folder and run it. But this one, you already rename it. This test.java is not there anymore. So you rename it to be Evans.java. So where is this test.java again? It's not there. So compiler will not find that test.java. So what compiler you find is Evans.java. That's why that's what I give you. He said file not found. He didn't find that folder. Hope you get it now.
Yes.
It's just simple logic. It's not
Yes,
nothing.
yes, yes.
You're not,
Yeah, we
you're running
understand
what
it.
is not, you're running what is not found. So how are you, where is it? What is test.java? Test.java is not here. What compiler will see is Evans.java. If you put Evans.java, if you found it, test.java will give you file not found. Okay? To give you, didn't find any file like that. So because the test classes in the source folder, they're all default. It is not public. It's fine, no problem. The rule is saying that you can have a number of classes in your source folder that are what? That are default classes. But the name can be anything. The name can be ABCD. The name can be New York.java. Okay? So make sure when you are running it, run that particular. How do you compile your code? Java C, the name of the source folder, an extension. That is how to run how you have to compile your code. So you're compiling your code, you're putting on that folder's name there. A compiler will not find it. Okay, it's just simple logic. There's nothing to worry about that. Okay. Hope you get it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's clear.
All right. Okay, now when we look at these particular files we talked about, we have Java files, we have source file, we have class file. When you write your code, you write your code in a source folder, Java file are not executable. Okay, when compiler comes to the picture, we get and compiles it. It check the syntaxes as is per rule and grammar of Java. That's how it's being done. Okay, as per the rule and if the programmer has been written the Java code in Java language, okay, every language has its own grammar. So that's what compiler does. It checks the syntax, okay, then it compiles it, then changes to bytecode, okay. And when you convert it to bytecode, you then have what your class file, and your class file is not human readable, okay. So it's not human readable. That's why JVM comes into the picture and converts it from bytecode to machine code. And with the help of interpreter. So now we have all compiled this particular code, and when we compiled it, we have test.java. I mean, we have B class, we have home class, we have A class. We have all a number of classes in this out of this events.java, or the one we name as test.java. Okay. So then you know that is JVM cannot execute .java file. The Java file is not executable. In your interview, don't get it twisted. The executable files is class files. Class files are the one executable. That's why we have class file being generated from that source file, because of JVM cannot execute your Java file, because Java file is not executable. Okay, is class file that is executable. So how do we execute this class file to give us the exact output, what we can see? what is in the form of readable, we can then see which will give us the output, because the works of JVM is to come into the picture and convert it from bytecode, which is not readable by human, okay? Convert it to bytecode, which is not readable by human, and with the help of interpreter, it gives us the desired output, okay? So how to execute these class files? How do we execute this class file? So it will give us what is inside the source folder for the human to be able to read the output, what you are seeing in the everyday life, what we see in our computer, when we run our code, it gives all the outputs in the console, okay? As we initially know that the command to compile this the command what is the command here? javac space what? The name of the source folder with what? Can someone help me with what? The name of the source folder with extension.
With extension.
Yes.
Java.
Yes, that's the extension of Java. Okay. That is Java C space. Okay. Then the name of the
Source file.
folder with extension. All right. So Java C space, the name of the extension. So now to compile, to execute. Now the command to run a class file, you want to run these class files here because it's not human readable. Now I want to run it, I want to execute that class. Java file is not executable. Java source file is not executable. It's only the class file that is only the class file that is executable. Just bear that one. It's only the class file that is executable. So we want to execute this class file that we can read. Now, the command to run a class file is what? The command to run a class file. Have anybody read that before? How to execute your class file? What is the command? The command to run to execute your source file is this. Okay? Java source folder is Java C space, the name of the source folder with extension. Now to execute the class file, the command to run a class file is what? You say Java no C, all right? Space, okay, spaces. Then, and the name of the class file without extension. So that's how you're able to execute your class file. You should not add extension with executing the class file without, okay, without extension. This one is with extension, that javac.java. That's, that source folder, okay? The name of the source folder, which is text, which is public, okay? Anyone, whatever name, you name your source folder, evans.java, newyork.java, that name.java, all right? That's for compilation. But to execute this source folder that is here now, this class file that is here that is not readable, to execute it now, this is what you have to do on your CMD command, right? You say Java, no C, space, and the name of the class file without extension. Now, can someone tell me which one do you want us to execute here now? out of these 4 classes we have a test class, home class, V class. Which one should we execute? So, Choma, which one should we go ahead and execute now?
Test.class.
Test, okay, test class, so test class, okay. All right, we execute the test class now. So, and I want you to know something. Whenever you are doing changes to your file, all right, whenever you are doing changes to your file like this now, you want to do changes to, maybe you want to add public, you want to do anything here, make sure you compile it, okay? Make sure you run your compilation again, make sure you run this in Java C space, name of the source folder, compile it before you do your execution, before you then go to this second stage, all right? Before you then run your test class. Always, anything or modification you do, any changes to your file, you must recompile it again, all right? After we compile the maybe your text.java, okay, we have 4 classes here. We have test class, we have home class, we have A class, B class respectively. So that your file, when you compile, so your file will be up to date. Okay, have it in your mind before you run your test class, compile it again. But when you are running it, but when you are doing that on your editor, that editor is your normal Eclipse. When you run your code, Eclipse does that one at the back end. Okay, when you be doing the actual coding. Okay, I just want to teach you guys how to run your Java code using this normal CMD command, your command prompt. Okay, which is very, very important for you to know. But when you be doing that on your CMD, on your using your Eclipse, this Eclipse here, Eclipse does that at the back end. It compiles it for you, so you don't need to do those things again. So Eclipse, you run your code and execute it. Eclipse does the compilation at the back end. So, but on CMD command, when you change anything here, make sure you do your Java C space, the name of the source folder, with extension, compile it so that this source program files are written here will be up to date. Okay. Now let's execute the test class as Evan said. So go to our CMD command. Okay. We want to execute this our test class, right? So we have to go to our CMD command. We have to go to our CMD command and then we will type Java what? I want to know if you guys are following. Space, thank you. Remember. Java and what?
The name of the class file without extension.
It has a which class file did she say we say execute?
Test.
Test. Say test. All right. Then we press enter. And what error do you see here? You guys read it. What's the error we found here? It said error main method not found in class text.
Please define the main method.
Define the main method. Yes, that's where we got into the topic today. Now we can have a number of methods inside a class. Let's say I have add methods. Methods are what we call them components in Java, right? We can have classes in Java, we have objects in Java, we have, you understand, we have method. Method is a functionality, what you want to execute actually. Okay, so now you want to execute that test class. You know, in a class, we have a number of things in a class. Everything is in that class. We have in our class, we have computer in my class, we have fan in my class, okay, we have board, we have different number of things in a class. Everything have to be in that class. That's what in Java. Similarly, in Java, class is where you write your particular functionality. Okay, so I will come back to that. So now, let's say we have a number of methods inside the class. Let's say I have add method, subtract method, multiplication method, print method, okay, print NN method. And there is a main method also in Java, which is the main guy, the main method. And what I did, I executed the class, okay, this test class. Okay. So Java is not a scripting language. Java is not a scripting language. Java is an object-oriented programming language. Java is not a scripting language like shell script. So in Java, Java needs to understand, that is JVM, all right? JVM, the Java Virtual Machine, JVM needs to understand from where JVM should start the execution from. So in Java, JVM should have a starting point. Now, Frank, I sent you an error. I said, you please help me deliver this message, this particular phone. What are you going to ask me now? Help me deliver this package to this. Help me deliver this package. Okay. What are you going to tell me?
To who?
To who? Which address? Okay. So similarly in Java, or your dad asks you a message, anybody asks you, please help me deliver the. Okay, you didn't give me what is the destination, where am I doing? So JVM, similarly in Java, JVM should have a start point. There's to execute a particular class is of JVM, because compilation has happened successfully, right? Convert it to what? To bytecode, and JVM can only be bytecode. So JVM then comes to the picture and asking a compiler to which address, where am I starting from? So JVM will first hit the point. There are different type of methods, but the main method to be in a class. So Java is not a scripting language like shell script. So in Java needs to understand that the JVM needs to understand from where JVM should start the execution. So in Java, JVM should have a start point that from here, JVM should start the execution of the class file. So in Java, this is predefined that JVM will always start the execution of the class from the main method. That's why you have this main method not found, because JVM is not seeing the main method, so execution will not take place. So ultimately, we can say that JVM executes only main method. There are different main methods in a class. You can create any number of main methods in a class, but you can have different methods in a class. Okay, you can add method, subtraction method, addition method, println method, but JVM will always search for the main guy before execution takes place in the class. So that's why JVM is asking for where is the main method. Compiler is showing an error. See, main method not found. So it's the main guy. So ultimately, we can say that JVM executes only main method. If you want to execute any class, you want to execute this test class, your class should have a main method inside the class. Satchuma, have any question?
No.
Are you getting the point now?
I
Why
have
we're
a
having this error?
I am.
We're just waiting for you to exemplify it.
Then what is the
Yeah,
main method you're talking about now?
the main method should be in your class. I'm just trying to do. I'm going to tell you how to the syntax to write the main method in your class. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm just trying to illustrate to you that why we are having this particular execution error, compilation error. We can execute this test class because why? JVM has come into the picture to execute that particular class, but it cannot find the main method, the main guy.
Oh,
In a class, there can be different methods in a class. Okay, we can have println method, we can have different methods, additional method, Frank methods, Vebran method, any method in the class. You can create any method. User predefined methods like users, you can create anything, but the predefined method should be there, which is the main guy. That's where the execution will start from to execute this thing. If you don't have a main method in this class, execution will not take place because JVM executes the main self execution from the main method. It starts from the main method. If you didn't see any main method, In your class, execution will not take place. So what's the syntax to write this main method? Don't worry about you're going to understand later on, but just know that the syntax to write your main method is public, static, void, main, in brackets, then string x, string array arguments, then you open curly braces and closing curly braces. This is your main guy here. This particular syntax have to be in your class. Okay? This particular guy have to be in your class. And Ms. Evans said we should execute what? The test class. All right? So in between this open and curly braces, in between this and this, okay, we have to paste this main method in between these curly braces.
Stanley,
Yes.
so the main is just MAI, not without N.
Oh, MAN, sorry about it. MAN, sorry. There's string, sorry, this string. Yeah, this string. Array arguments. Okay, public static void main. Don't worry about it. You got used to it. You're going to get used to this thing. Don't worry about it. But just know that you're going to get this. You understand what is public. You know what public is, right? So you understand static. When you start doing about methods, you understand this. But just have in your back of your mind, JVM looks for these particular keywords in your class that you want to execute. In your class that you want to execute. The JVM, when it comes to execute this particular class, it looks for this particular main guy. This is the main method. It can be any number of methods. You can have addition methods. Okay, you can have addition method. You can have print ln method. You can have frank methods. Okay, you can have all these number of methods. Okay, but that one that is main, which is string array arguments, okay, which is public static. This one is what JVM is looking for before execution will happen. And this is how you write the syntax. So you have to write this thing in between these open curly braces and closing curly braces of your class you want to execute. So public, static, void, main, string, array, arguments, open curly braces and closing curly braces. Put it in between your class you want to execute. And Java is a very case sensitive. If I make this one to be capital letter, you're going to have a compilation error. So make it what? Small letters. These are predefined keywords. If you remember, if you go back to your videos and go back to your written notes you have written, you will find that I told you about you cannot use these words as an identifier. Predefined keywords in Java, like public, static, void, main, as a what? As identifier to identify a what? Any Java component. Always go back to your videos, watch YouTube videos to compare your notes and everything, and write notes and do practice. You get conversant with all these things. But what I'm trying to tell you, the main launch here is that for you to execute a main class, for you to execute a class, there must be a main guy there. JVM looks for these particular keywords. So in between this open curly braces of that class you want to execute, you have to put that main guy here, which is public, which is static, void, main, string, array, arguments. All right. Then, and sometimes when you want to print out something, for us to be sure that we are printing out these things. Before that, do you have any question? Are you getting lost about this?
A little bit.
He said,
I said a
don't
little.
worry, when you sit down your own time and watch it again, you will just write note and watch video, you get it straight. Don't get this twisted about this particular public. Just copy this thing for now. Okay? He's the main guy for you to execute this test class because this is not readable. So JVM comes into the picture. You want to execute the test class. So make sure in between these open curly braces and closing curly braces, put this person here to execute this test class. Okay? And open curly braces and closing curly braces of his own. Okay? Then, Frank, let me not go too further. You have any question? Guys, just relax and look at this before we start executing.
So,
Hello, Stanley.
I hear you, please. Yeah.
sorry, my question is, this public status void, right, is constant.
It's constant. It's a predefined.
All right.
It's already there in your
All right.
your jar file. I will use jar file you downloaded. You know, JRE has session. What is the components? What is the components on in JRE? What are those in JRE? What are those components in JRE?
Class, variable.
No. The components in
Important
JRE. Tools in JRE, yes.
Important tools.
JVM and some important libraries.
Important library. Yeah.
Yes,
Important
those libraries are nothing but the jar files, right?
Yeah.
So jar file, those jar files as archive files that is inbuilt already. So when you download your JDK, you see, when you're doing your JDK, JRE is there, you always automatically, you download those archives. So you don't need to start typing this in again. I'm going to give you a shortcut, a short keyword, Control-Alt, space, enter. This will populate, okay, on your console, on your editor when you are writing your code. So it's predefined, it's already there already. You don't need to be writing this again, start creating it. No, it's already there. So it's predefined. The predefined words is there to execute. It's predefined that JVM will always start the execution of your class from the main method, right? It's the main method here. Public static void main string s, and make sure it's not public, it's not capital letters, right? Whatever is what. Any question before we start executing?
So my question is, this what we're using here is default, right?
Yes.
Is default. Is it the same thing with public too?
This public.
No.
Okay, for here.
Yeah,
you can make it public. If you make it public, just follow your rules, okay? If you make it public, there's nothing by making it public. But make sure, yes, you can make it.
What I'm asking is that if I make it public, we still follow the same public static void.
It doesn't have anything to do with all this one. This one is you're executing. So you can make it default, you can make it public, and make it protected when you're talking about inner classes, okay? All right, so it doesn't have anything to this. Doesn't have anything. But what is that execution? For you to execute that particular class, there must be main guy. It must be public, it will be static, main, void main, string array, argument. All this you understand these annotations. All right, as time go, we'll go to that topic. But for now, this is how to execute your particular test class. Any class want to execute. Dr. do you have any question? Before we execute?
No.
Frank, any question?
No question.
And I told you about those Java archives, all those predefined, okay? And in Java, for you to print out something, what is it to print? How do you print out something in Java? In Python, Abraham, if you want to print out something in your console, you want to see what you are reading, okay? in your code, you want to print in your console, for it to appear in your console, what is the keyword to print out things in your console?
For Java,
In Python, you just see print. In Java, in Python, you say
just
print.
the print, then you
Yeah,
put the
you just
bracket.
you put the bracket
Yeah.
and type in what you want to type, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so in Java, Frank, in Java, how do you print out something you want to let it appear in your console? How do you print out something? What is syntax, the keyword? Have you ever seen that to print out things in your?
No.
I think it's system dot out dot
Yes.
print. Yes.
Predefine. All these are predefined. It's already. You just say CISO in don't worry, I'll tell you how to just see keyword to just do that. Type when you're doing start downloading your Eclipse, your editor. So we want to print out things to be sure. We want to make sure that we actually execute that particular test class. I want to see what is inside that particular class. Okay. So how to do is say that's all to be in capital letters. Every predefined class in Java begins with a capital letter. Predefined class is already there in the archive already when you download your JDK. All these are all there. All these things are in there. That's why you need that GRE, right? When you download your JDK, you have GRE. And inside GRE, you have JVM and some important libraries, okay, tools, all right? There are libraries and no libraries and nothing but the Java files. So all these things are inside our Java archives, okay? So to need to print out something to see what you're already in that particular class, you say system dot out dot print NL, and this open bracket and closing bracket is what defines a method. Okay, but when we go to method, the next previous sections we talk about methods, different type of methods. You understand that, but you want to print out something in that particular class, you said print ln, then you put your, what is this?
Semicolon.
Semicolon, all right? Anywhere you see semicolon in a programming language, you want to terminate that particular code you want to execute, all right? So, and it's a statement. In between the statement, you put your, what is this? Frank? Frank, are you there? Maybe what is this?
That is inverted comma. I think it's inverted double inverted. I don't know whether it's double inverted comma. I don't know.
Yeah, so in between that one you put, you say main, let's write something there. You say main method of what? Of test class executed. So we know that we execute that particular main method, okay? So anybody have any doubt regards to this? We just have that 7 minutes to end the class. Anybody have any doubt before we execute?
So if that print is,
Frank, look at it very, look at it very well. Have any class?
So, Stanley, this main method of test class executed, that's what you print
I want
out.
to see. Yeah, I want to print out. Yeah, I want to print out. I have to write that. In between that, we have to put your.
but what is the main class, Seth?
You say what?
What is the main method?
The main method. The main method is where execution will start from. JVM will look for that main method, unless you will not print out anything.
Okay,
That's why we are having.
It's the JVM that will look for the main method.
Yeah, that's why I have a main method not found. That's why JVM to execute that test class. Okay. It didn't find. That's why I have this error here. Main method not found. So main method is defined as this. It looks for the main guy. before. Just simply know that JVM executes main method. All right. So that's why you look for the main method, which is public static void main string array arguments. All right. In this bracket, you put string array argument, then open curly braces and close curly braces. So in between the open and curly braces for the main, you have to print out something out. I want to print something out. I want to execute this, but I want to make sure that I want to print out something to make sure I am printing something from the main from the test class. So therefore system.out.println, okay, then this quotation mark in between quotation mark here because the statement, okay, the statement. So it's a main method of test class executed. Just write anything, or Abraham is going to class, or Evans is going home. Anything you want to print out, okay? Also make sure that you are printing something from this particular class here, okay?
Yeah, you had earlier said that predefined command starts with a capital letter, right?
I can't hear you. You're afraid. You're far away from the speaker.
You said something. You said something about predefined starting with a capital letter.
Abraham, can you hear what he's saying?
He's trying to talk about the predefined. This predefined, that's what he's trying to talk about.
Which is the predefined talking about?
The predefined of the system is starting with capital letter. Maybe you should try and explain it to him again. You know, like system out.
Frank, all these things are predefined. It's only the way you can do your JDK.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So the public static void, why is the P not starting from capital letter?
Why not say for public capital letter?
Since it's also
predefined. That's why I always tell you guys to always go to your videos and go to your notes again and write this down. If you write it down, you understand what I was telling you when I was talking about the identifiers, rules for naming identifiers. As a Java reserved keyword cannot be used as an identifier, e.g. public static void main string array. Okay, all these ones, they are predefined. And first character of an identifier should be a alphabetic character, A to Z, dollar symbol. Okay, so now he said, why is it? Okay, I just want you guys to understand one thing about this one before we start. I'm going to make this one to be public. Now, I'm making this capital letter. Okay, well, from now, do you have any question regards to the name before I execute? I'm making this wrong now. I'm making this with capital letter or small letter. Okay, so I'm making it to be what? Capital letter public, static void main string get. All right. Okay, from here to this point, you have any question? Satroma, do you have any question?
No.
Okay, I have just 3 minutes now. So let me save this. Okay. I have to save this and let me be sure it's already saved. I go to test.java. Let me open it again and say, okay, it's there. Okay. Now I'm making this on capital letter. It's all of small letters. All right. So I have to do what? Recompile again. Okay. Let's recompile again. You can see this. I'm having this error. Line number 3, error is coming from the identifier expected. Public static void main string array arguments. Error in number 1. Why? Why, Abraham? Why are we having that error? Instead of this, why are we having that error? Where is this error coming from?
I think because that P is capital.
It's capital letter, but why is this saying identifier? This is access modifiers, right? What are access modifiers? What are identifiers in Java? Identifiers in Java is nothing but the name to name any Java components. What are those Java components? Methods,
Variable,
class, variable, constants, all those things. Now, this is access modifier. And you are maybe using it as a capital letters. JVM compiler does not understand this. Which public is this? You can't use it. Can you use this as the access modifier?
No.
When I was defining this as public, did I use anything like a capital letter P?
No.
No.
It's small
So
letter.
that's why, yeah, small letter, that's why we're having those compilation error. Frank, I hope you can get it. Sachin, I hope you can get it this now. Always go back to, it's everything related to what you will be reading from the scratch. Rules are not recommended. Rules are mandatory. You have to follow those rules. And Java is what? Is case sensitive. Frank, I hope you get it now. I don't have just 2 minutes to end. I hope you have this. I hope you
Yes,
get
yes.
it from here.
Yes, yes.
So that's why you're having those errors. So we go back to your videos, you see what errors come there. So now if you go to this, and let me change it to my small letter here. And let me make sure I save it. Let me go back to this again and make sure it's saved to small letters. Okay, save to small letter. And then I have to recompile again. Make sure it compiles so it to be up to date. Okay. You can see I don't have any
Error.
error coming from this thing. Let me make sure I delete this one again so that we'll make sure that I have my classes there. So then let me go back again. And after we compiling now, we have to do what? We have to run our test class. We want to execute our test class. So what's the code to execute our test class? What is the
Java, no
code to
C.
execute? Java what?
No C.
No C, then what? Test,
Yes.
test, just test. Then you see that we will not find main method. Did I compile this again? Okay, let me go back. Do I really compile? What is the error coming from here? Public class text, public static void main string s. Okay, system.out.println. Did I really save this again? Public class text, okay, public static void. Oh, sorry. I didn't compile it. Okay, let me compile this again. Java C words test to Java. Okay, we compile. Okay, let's run it now. I want to print that main method of test class executed. And what do you see here now? Main method of test class executed. So we are having that the words being what's being printed. We have our A class, B class, home class. And in our home class, in our test class, we have this printed in our console. Main method of what? So JVM looks for the what? The main guy to execute a particular code. So if you want to run this particular one, which one should we execute again? For home, we say test.home. What do you have it now? Sorry. We say test.home. Yes.
Test space home.
Java space home, yeah. What do you say? It's a main method is not what. So every test class, in every class, there must be what?
The public
There must be
static
static void main
strings argument. Okay.
arguments in any class you want to execute. So if you copy, I'm so lazy right now. We copy all this one and paste it here and say that of what?
Home.
Home class, main method of home class executed. You save this, let's save this, and when you save it, make sure you do what? You have to recompile it again, okay? So that your source folder will be what? Will be up to date. And name of the source folder is text, right? So error reach end of the while. I'll see what it mean.
No, it did not run the Java without C.
I want to compile it. Public class. Oh, okay. Public class. This one is for this. Oh, sorry. One parent is here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Let me look at it very, very well. I want to run this one home, public class void, okay. This system at domain, okay. So this parent is
The
for
quality
this
line.
one. The calling is
Mhm.
for this one. Then this
Mhm.
one is for this. Okay, let's recompile it again, see, save it, and
We compile.
compile it. Okay, compilation happens, then the rest run the let's run the home class.
Are you finished? Stop. Hey, stop. Reading it.
It's not
Oh,
found.
did I put
Maybe,
Java C? No, 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 no. What did I run here? Sorry.
maybe we need to save it.
Oh, sorry, no, sorry. No, 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 sorry. It's a Java home, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Java home, yeah. You can see main method of home class executed. So JVM always look for the what? The main guy, right? So, and that's it for today. And I have one interview question I want to share with you, but I don't know if you're going to do that tomorrow. You just say just 30 minutes question, 30 minutes. Okay, we just have one class tomorrow. Okay, it will take us like just 15-minute class. You guys
Okay.
can bring what you did for today, then you can just do just 15 minutes or 45 minutes class. So just 15 minutes or 30 minutes before
Okay.
end it. All right. So yeah, I hope you guys got something out of this.
Yeah,
You're
sure.
learning your Java
Yeah,
gradually,
of course.
gradually.
Thank
Right.
you so much.
All right, Sachoma, I hope you're getting it's not something difficult. Hope you're getting it now.
I'm getting it, but I'll go
Yeah.
back to the class.
Okay. All right, our time is past spent, so we're going to end it for today. Tomorrow we'll continue. Just try and do your this and today. Let's run some things tomorrow. If you have time, if you guys know 15 minutes, just explain it and we end it for classes and before we go to the other section.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Stanley.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Your name.